of you may have been thinking that I was going to give a talk on Virgin Galactic, but given the high-minded nature of this morning, opera philosophy, I thought I would spend the next 10 minutes on calligraphy for you all. And I'm just going to give a sort of a description of how that's done. No, I'm just kidding. But I do appreciate the terrific and personal talk that George gave, and I look forward to reading that book. I only have 10 minutes this morning, so I'm going to try to be brief and direct. I am very excited about this moment. It's an exciting moment in time, and certainly from the galactic perspective, there's a lot to talk about. Thank you to Pat for organizing this and for her efforts in space education in New Mexico. Thank you to the citizens of New Mexico who have taken a bet on commercial space, which I think will pay off handsomely for them. I want to thank the local governments for stepping up on the southern road here in New Mexico, which is going to be crucial for the spaceport success. And I want to thank the governor and the legislature for stepping up on the informed consent legislation that I think is going to be crucial to the broader success of the spaceport. Some of the folks who are here today are folks that we've announced new partnerships with, and I want to recognize them. The Hotel Encanto, the Sierra Grande Lodge, the World-Class Gourmet and Savoy Restaurant. Those are all announcements that we've made over the last few months about folks that we'll be working with. Also, New Mexico operations and facility contractors, a company called Ultramain, HB Construction, PCM, and RMKM, are all doing great work out at the spaceport now, or in the case of Ultramain, will be at the heart of our flight operations. I also thought I'd briefly recognize our industrial partners at Northrop Grumman and Scaled. We're now working with them on a new program called XS1, and you'll hear more about that from Doug Young and Jess Sponable over the next few days. So I'll start off with a brief update on development, which I think is probably something that folks are interested in. And I think the headline is that last week we completed qualification firings for our rocket motor, with which we'll return to powered flight. And we expect to get back into powered test flight quite soon. We've taken delivery from our contractor Scaled of the carrier aircraft, the White Knight II, and we'll take delivery of the spaceship once they have completed their last test flights. And in fact, yesterday Scaled received the updated permit from the FAA to begin the next phase of test flights. Over the course of the year, we've built an in-house operations team that will operate the vehicles here in New Mexico, from ground crew to pilots. It's a world-class team, and it has flown White Knight II over 20 times by themselves since we took delivery from Scaled. A few weeks ago, we flew the White Knight II to Spaceport in El Paso to fly our actual mission profiles and to coordinate airspace usage with the local FAA in White Sands. That was a very productive activity and sets us up well for flights here. I think we've got a picture of that at some point. In the meantime, we've been hard at work on our second spaceship, which is about, I would say, 60% done. That'll be ready next year, and we look forward to add that capacity into our operation towards the end of 2015. The spaceport interior fit-out, from customer training facilities to vehicle maintenance areas to staff offices, is under work now. For those of you who are able to drive out there, you'll see a lot of construction going on with our partners there. And we are using local architects and construction companies out for that. In the meantime, we're continuing to migrate staff from Mojave to New Mexico and hire up new folks here. I don't have too much time to talk about it, but we have making a big commitment in that. And interestingly, we're moving a bunch of families down early. For example, the family of our head of flight maintenance has already moved down here. The individual staff member is still up in Mojave working on the vehicles, but we have the movement of those families down to New Mexico, which is a big deal and I think shows the commitment of those families and also, of course, of us. Finally, we're working very hard on a small satellite launch vehicle called LauncherOne, which I think will be a revolutionary vehicle. And part of those operations, I think, may be based in New Mexico. We're building the engines ourselves for that, as well as the structure, and over the next few months, we will have fired both the first and the second stage engines, as well as demonstrated the structural tankage for that vehicle. We're very excited about that market, and I think it's going to be a big part of our future business. In the final minutes, I just wanted to make a few last points. I collected a bit of data on our investment in New Mexico, and I thought it was interesting. It's still early days, but I think it's numbers that are sort of good to have in mind. So we have already spent, in rent and fees paid to New Mexico Spaceport Authority, more than $2.6 million and are fulfilling our obligations under the lease. Since 2010, we've paid more than $3.6 million to New Mexico suppliers, and we have customer-related hospitality contracts valued at an additional $3 million to New Mexico firms. Now, those are early days, but I think it shows that there is real money being spent here on our part. That, of course, does not count the significant investments that our investors have made in the company itself. Spaceport America is going to be a fantastic facility that will change the world. I think the phrase that Stu had yesterday, which is that state of New Mexico is sitting on a gold mine, is exactly right. And it's something that I think will be incredible, and it will only reach that full sustainable potential if a few conditions are met. First, we believe that additional tenants are crucial to the future success of the spaceport. Now, we will do our part, but I think it's crucial that additional tenants are found, and we look forward to supporting the spaceport in that search. I also think that it's important to say that no new airport is self-sufficient on day one of commercial operations, and Spaceport America will not be so either. And we look forward to working with the Spaceport Authority, the economic development agencies, state legislature, and the governor's office to ensure that Spaceport America gets off on the right foot over the next few years. In conclusion, we're making good progress, but we will fly only when we're ready and when it is safe to take our customers up. I personally am incredibly excited about the next 6 months, and I think during that time you'll see some great and exciting things coming out of Galactic, but also out of the spaceport as a whole. And I think that this is going to be really a year coming up that people will remember for a long time. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you, George.